My name's Matthew. You can, at the end, I'll give you a slide with my email address, but to give it to you very quickly and easily, it's Matthew with 2 T's, although I've never seen it spelled any other way. Matthew with 2 T's at realtor.com. Easy enough? Okay, great. Here's what this class is going to be. It's 60 minutes of tools that I know actually work. I don't know about you, but I get frustrated going to real estate classes from people who don't do it or haven't done it forever. Okay. I was really successful in 1912 when there were 60 people in my neighborhood and I was the only realtor. Fantastic. That doesn't help us in 2012. Okay. So today's going to be about the tools and techniques that I know work from personal experience. I'm a little bit of OCD here. Somebody told me the other day it's actually CDO because the letters have to be in order. I know it's early. You won't work with me. All right. So we're going to talk about Social Broker. A lot of content, 90 slides in about 48 minutes. So lots of stuff going through there. Here's what I've done for you. The presentation is on my brokerage blog, our company's blog, at elitescoop.com/socialbroker. Not only is a slide there, but every tool I'm going to reference, every web page, all the videos that I reference. I don't show videos in the 60-minute segment simply because there's not enough time. Now, I am doing some other sessions this week. I'm doing one this afternoon for instructors, brokers who do teaching, or their staff instructors using these tools. And there are a couple of videos we'll show then, and they're embedded on the web page if you want them. So again, Social Broker, elitescoop.com/socialbroker is where the presentation materials are. You can go there after the class. You can go there now for all I care. It's up to you. It's your class. You get information. So I'm the Vice President of Cobble Banker Elite. We're the #1 Cobble Banker in Virginia. Yay! Love Cobble Banker. This is my 10th year in the business. My first year, I got in at 26. I said I would never do this kind of thing. It was the family business on my mother's side, and that was good enough reason. On my wife's side, rather, not my mother. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. Until I go on travel and realize I got to do my own laundry. Anyway, so on my wife's side, it was a family business. I was like, I don't want to do any of that. I had heard things about realtors. I was a paramedic beforehand. Got burnt out after doing that for a long time and got into this business. So I don't have a marketing background. I tried everything and figured out what would work, and that's what I put in my presentations. We have a very diverse group. We have 10 offices, and I'm 10. Wow, I am projecting in the future. We have 5 offices. Sometimes it feels like 10. A manager for each office. All of them are unique. All of our agents are unique. They're special snowflakes. Snowflakes are very pretty to look at from a distance. You put any heat under them, they melt. For our one agent in the room, sorry, you'll just have to deal with it for the next hour. So everybody else knows what I'm talking about. So we have those special snowflakes, and some of them get this and love this and had to be crowded in because they were going too far. Some of them didn't get it at all, and you know what? We call them top producers, so we leave them alone. But they built teams and had to get agents to do this stuff. So the technology and the online stuff. So I'm trying to take a standpoint here of we say we're brokers, we send our agents to classes, we send our agents to all these places, then they come back and realize we don't have a culture to support what we're telling them to go do what everybody else is telling them to do. So what do? They go out and look for other cultures. We're all Cobble Banker people here, right? So I can talk bad about other brands? Yeah. How about if I talk good about them? Please do. My fanboys up here. Please do. You might get disturbed at the exit and Keller Williams migration that happened over the past couple of years, but you know what? They engaged the agents at a different place. Whether you like what they did or not, there was qualities to how they engaged and the tools they gave. We were standing back here for a long time at major brands going, okay, this is how we've done business, this is how we all do business. If it worked for Century 21, clearly it works for Cobble Banker, clearly it works for whatever other companies in your marketplace, and we found out that doesn't. We had to reinvent. And it's been a quick thing. It was easier for us, I think, as the big realty brands than it was for just about anybody else. So I say that because I come from an independent background and then to franchises. I ran a school for a while and tried a couple of different things. And then I got to the point where I said, the stuff that worked for agents and worked for me should be working for everyone. Do you all remember that famous 80s commercial where the dad barges in the kid's room and he's banging his head and smoking dope and the dad's like, where have you learned this? And the kid goes, you, all right, I learned it by watching you. What's happened in the real estate industry is we aren't learning it from our brokers. We're not learning good or bad habits, sometimes nothing at all. So if any point comes across the next hours, I want you to go to a higher standard. I want you to set the pace and don't tell them to do it, you need to do it. All right? And if you're saying you don't have time, hire somebody who does. That's what my broker did. Very, very successful broker. This is his 30th year with the Cobble Banker brand. Isn't that awesome? He's still very innovative. He'll still open ideas, but he hires those of us who like this stuff and go do it, because if you don't like it, it won't work. All right. So let's talk about a couple of things. Again, if you tell them but you don't show them, it doesn't count. If you tell them to go out and do videos, and then you don't have any videos on your own, what message are you sending? We have a very clever broker. We have several very clever brokers, and one of them, Claire Force Rowe. We started talking about this video, and we did a couple things. We had our BC bring in a regional guy or a corporate guy to talk about the benefits of video. Now, you and I can talk to our agents who see us every day, all day long, doing the exact same presentation, using the same words. You bring in someone from corporate, your BC, someone from 50 miles away, makes them an expert. Anybody ever experienced that? They go to this conference, and the same thing that you've been telling forever, they come back and go, I learned the coolest thing from Matthew Ferrara today. And you're scratching your head going, iPad, I mentioned that, I think, 1,000 times. You got to do it on your own. Claire brought in this regional person, had invited everybody in our company, plus people outside of the company, great recruitment opportunity, although we'll talk about that in another class. Brings in a bunch of people from our company and others. We talk about the benefits of video. We schedule the next day, or the next week rather, here's how you do video. Here's how the equipment you should go buy, the flip cam, how do you get it and use it. Then the next thing that we did was this was a process, guys. This wasn't just we decided to go set up a Twitter account and now we hope that everybody will come work for us. Right? So the next week we said, okay, we're going to do another class. My marketing guy and I came in and we did a how to use Windows Live, because we all like free, right? Windows Live Movie Maker, great free tool. If that's what your agents need. We taught them how to use that. Then Claire decides to go rent a limo. Schedule everybody, and they had to go on a map and within the city or market area. And by the way, we have a very city populace up near Prince William County, up near DC. We have a very rural area where I live in Caroline. So these principles work for our agents in both marketplaces, both type of dynamics. She rented a limo, $250. I got some video equipment. We went on site to where they were. They had already scripted out what they wanted to say. We did the raw video for them, came back to the office, and sit there while they edited their video and helped them when we needed to and just gave them the raw stuff. So we did this process. This is why you do it. We're going to take you and do it. Oh, by the way, she mixed mimosas at 8:30 in the morning in the limo. Get them all loosened up. Some of them were a little too loose by the time we got there. It was okay. They have their own dynamic of client. So we have to tell them, we show them. Seth Godin made, I think, one of the most powerful statements. This is one of the most powerful books, I think, for us as brokers. Is that selling to people who actually want to hear from you is more effective than interrupting strangers who don't. Brokering is selling, right? Recruiting is selling. Getting people to agree with your philosophy, your doctrine, your dogma is selling. And getting them in that room to sit down with you and understand why you do or don't prefer dual agency, why you do or don't do property management is very important. And sometimes as brokers we say this is what we're going to do and we don't bother explaining because we felt like we've done it 100 times. Right? So we have to take more of an active approach to get them to trust us first, get them to like us. This class is named Engage, Entice, and whatever else I named it. I originally had named it Solicit and Seduce. My wife said no to that. But oftentimes that's what we're doing, right? It's a slow process. Now, we got to build a tribe. That's what our company should be. Because they're going out and getting this information everywhere else right now. Your agents, and you know who they are the ones who are reading the blogs, or on Twitter, they're on Facebook, people are sharing links with them, and they start reading this information and not taking it in context and start developing their own philosophies and theories that aren't yours. And do you know what the next step is? They're going to go look for a broker who agrees with you.
Have a retreat.
Okay? They're going to walk out the door on you because they don't believe that you believe what they believe. It's like church. Right? They're going to go find the denomination that they like. So we had to build a tribe. This is a team of 4 young ladies that we brought in from a competitor. This was a long process. This was a 2-year process. It started with me teaching pre-licensing to 1 and then coming to technology classes. And then, honest to goodness, I teach technology a lot. My favorite classes, though, are risk management. I love teaching agency. I love teaching ethics. I love teaching the law. I know it's a little bit of a different dichotomy what I'm doing here, but that's what I like. They would come because we made it interesting. And we would talk about the social aspects and engagement tools. They called up one day. Actually, they put on Facebook, we're looking for a new company. Do you have any recommendations? Do I have a recommendation? You know what my line was? Look, you've seen me around the association. We have 2,000 members. I've trained almost all of them. When it came time for me to go to a company, I didn't go with the only person offering a job because they were all offering jobs. I went to the one that I thought was best suited for me in a long-term career. What do you think? Okay. I already had the following that made it very easy to have that conversation. Put that line on Facebook. They call me the next day. When can we meet? Set up a meeting with who was going to be their office broker. Sit down for lunch. They sit down going, when we transfer, what will you do for us? That's a lot more powerful than what can you do for me and I'll think about transferring. Okay, we already built a tribe. They're a clever group of young ladies. Here's what they put outside their door. Welcome to the new home of Karen, Hillary, Grace, and Teresa. House office warming party coming soon. Gifts not necessary, but always appreciated. That's their first day announcement to the world that they're at our company. Do you think we have some agents who are irritated? You know what? I don't care. Here's my philosophy, and you can take it or leave it. I understand this is a different market for everybody and everywhere you're at. I have decided this year I am focusing those who get it, and all the rest can go somewhere else. I cannot correct my message and try to make everybody happy with 200 different dynamics within our company. I cannot do it. And if I got one or two people who are constantly negative, I don't care how much money they're making now, they're losing money by not being so effective with the other agents or running other people out the door. They make their negative comments outside. I don't need them. I know that's hard to say, and we can only say that in a broker group, right? But I don't need them. They hurt us. If they're not part of the tribe, they are destroying your tribe. Vote them off the island. Join the conversation. Whether it be online or offline, you need to have the conversation. You need to know what's going on. You need to be in their Facebook pages. You need to be in their Twitter pages. This isn't a risk management class, but I'll tell you in Virginia, our statute is very clear. Whatever you do that talks about real estate and online is marketing, period. The very next line says, and you're the broker, you're responsible for it, period. Our company policy and philosophy is you don't have a social media site that I, the broker, cannot be a member of. You can't block me from Facebook, you can't block me from Twitter, you can't block me from any of those things. If you talk about real estate, if you have a Facebook page and you never, ever talk about real estate, you never have your clients on there, and your friends and family, once they become clients, you kick them off, okay. Does that ever happen? No. So that we have to be in the conversation. We have to know what they're saying. Because that agent today, who you think's a knucklehead in your office, is a flaming moron online. Right? Because they're saying 140 characters trying to capsulize their summary. Look, I already lost one. I'm trying to capsulize their summary, or what their feelings are in one statement, because negativity builds other people's attraction. Other people who feel the same way will back them up. And just from a risk management standpoint, I will say this. There are people listening. An agent in our marketplace, not ours, thank God, but it could have easily have been, bad-mouthing corporate relocation firm. Guess who's listening? Guess who calls a broker and says, you stop this or we'll stop the leads? And you can talk about freedom of speech all you want. We lost it when we became realtors and started talking about real estate. You don't believe me? Go say something racist online. Okay, we lost a certain level of that. So join the conversation. Have your seminars. Do the seminars like we're doing here, the social media, the tech, the training. Have them in your companies. I want to talk about our multiple listing service. It's the second largest in the U.S. I love our multiple listing service, MRAS. But here's what they did. They took on a very effective approach. We modeled some of what we're doing after them. They said, we want to do real estate in real time. And their philosophy as a corporate staff was that real time meant engaging our users in real time as well. So they all got Twitter accounts. They all got Facebook accounts. They all got a blog. They all used all the online social tools that they could use. But where the magic really happened is online is the gateway to get the belly-to-belly, the face-to-face. Their intent was to get you to come to their meetings, to come to be their beta testers. They found the influencers within their marketplace to get them to come over and start chatting with them about how they can improve the service. So user got direct intent. If they call me up and say, Matthew, can you come talk to us about this new product? And I have ownership interest in it, guess what I do on Twitter, Facebook, and my blog? I'm promoting what's out there, what they're doing, because I have some ownership. I have some pride of ownership in there. So they built these resources and tools, and then they launched it. Within 2 days, they had 3,700 followers on their Facebook page. That's a lot of people in 2 days. Now, the second thing they did was we're going to make this a contest. If you follow us on Facebook, if you follow us on Twitter, if you go to our blog and leave comments, we'll put your name in a hat, so to speak, and the winner gets an iPad. Now this isn't as big of a deal because everybody has an iPad, but when they first came out, this was a big deal that they were giving this away. That encouraged conversation on the site. And then again, they had staff with their own sites, and their names are related to the company they work for. I've met those folks personally one-on-one. They are great gals to hang out with. I almost have to have my wife around, but they're great gals to hang out with. All right? So there was a connection there that we made online, and when I met them, they were who they said they were, even though they were for the company. And again, you'll see this engaging on Facebook. Is there somebody dying outside the hall? Oh, is it? Okay. I just want to know if we should go help or something. Great numbers can bear responsibility. Here's the problem, though. They built a great following. It's huge. Everybody was joining and chatting. And then they want to know where your feedback is from. How many of you as brokers go out in the public, not just to your agents and private surveys, but to the public and say, how are we doing? How many of you are concerned if you do that, your competitors are going to come leave comments on the page? Right? And they are. That's okay. Now you know they're listening and they're looking. You got to get an audience. And controversy builds followers. So if I'm got another agent talking about, our company's better than yours because we had 200 people come, I can come back and say, that's great. Thank you for joining in the conversation. Yes, you had 200 people join your company, but your average units per agent is 0.34. Ours is 11.6. I'm glad you built up fast, but we built quality, not quantity. Now, you got to do that somewhat tastefully, but it gives you an opportunity because other people are reading that debate. All right. So this person comes on here, and this person says, and I got permission from Dana to actually use this. She said, are you really listening to what we're saying, or do an undisclosed number of people have to request additional changes for you to listen? I'm sorry to say that I don't feel you're listening, so I'm extremely disappointed with you guys right now. Staff immediately comes on within an hour and refers back. Now, I'm another user. I'm another social connector in this group. Okay? I'm not staff. And I come in, I can chastise her a little bit. I got to be professional because I don't want to chastise her to the point she'll never come work for me. You with me? Or other people see that. But I'm going to go and engage a little bit. You've been a little rough, haven't you? It didn't strike me as one of those realtor stuff. This time, her complaint was she wanted an iPad app for the MLS and they weren't getting there fast enough. Actually, she wanted a Droid app and they had an iPhone app. That was her complaint, I think. She emailed me later on, and of course, really nice comment here. Staff comes back, cleaned it up a little bit. But a broker friend of mine who took this class 2 years ago went and did the same thing, built a company site. His agent started dogging on him online. And he goes, I'm going to delete it. Why would you delete it? Anybody? Well, we do it for our social profile, right? We don't want anybody to see that stuff on there. We want to hide it under the carpet. Welcome to the day of transparency. So we challenged them, said, go engage your agents on that Facebook page. Ask them what they're doing. Show you're interested. Show you're involved. He actually not only won them over, within 2 days he showed me screenshots of them on Facebook saying, we really feel like we were listened to. Thank you so much for helping us out with that thing that we wanted, whatever it was. That is more powerful than deleting the comment. People have already seen it by that time. Okay, you can't be afraid to engage online. Again, the same thing here. And this person actually went and complained about something and then changed it when he said, oh, sorry, it's my bad. Because we will do that. Before somebody else corrects us, we'll go back online and correct ourselves. Right? So what they did was they humanized the message. They put real people behind the corporation, the company. They put the conversation in the user's turf. They went to where I was, didn't expect me to come where I am. Now, we've heard that for consumers, but our brokers doing the same thing for agents. Are you carrying those conversations online? They created transparency, they resolved the conflicts, and they created an environment, or an experience, if you will, for the users. Now a huge number of their users are on there, and they're sharing ideas. And the key aspect of that is that the MLS is changing how they do things based on Facebook, more so than anything else. So a couple tools. I am going to talk about Cobble Banker. I know this sounds like a sales pitch. It's not. I honestly believe in the stuff we're doing here for this reason. I cannot convey to you in the amount of time, if I had the whole day, of all the how-tos and ins and outs of this stuff. Your agents are getting that 10,000 view like you are today about social engagement from the role that you play within your brokerage or your firm. But what they're really wanting is, now how do I do it? I know I need a video. I know I need to make Twitter successful or Facebook or whatever their vehicle is. How do I do it? Cobble Banker University, who's been to the broker portal? Okay, very, very proud of this. They've done a great job. I did, before I got to Cobble Banker, did consulting for other brands and firms and other brokers. Nothing like this is out there yet. I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but for now we have this. As our own, we can claim it. This is also a great opportunity if you're an owner trying to recruit other brokers to use in your slides, just like if you're a broker trying to recruit an agent, you talk about these things, right? What's in here is one of my two favorite things is the broker blog, which we're going to redo as an outside blog, by the way. Right now you have to log into CBWorks to get there. We're going to do one on the outside, so people outside of our own brand will be able to comment and share too. I'm not sure how that's going to go over, but we'll find out. And also online discussion groups. So I can go over there to these two guys and say, hey, excuse me, has anybody seen a new tool for online meetings because such and such is too expensive, it doesn't work? And they'll be able to have a conversation with me in real time to broaden our scope and our ability to get new, fresh ideas in. And of course, there's video and there's other tools and things in there. But again, we have the online discussion groups, the blog, suggested blog feeds, and social media. Let me do a real quick survey here. Nobody's judging you. How many people read blogs every day? Have a blog reader set up and they do that? Okay. I said I wasn't going to judge you. For those that don't know online, raise your hand. I'm not judging you, but I am saying this. If your agent knows more about what's going on in the market than you do, make them the brand manager. Right? When we get a new contract released in our marketplace, we did a video saying, here's the new contract, here's how you use it. We posted the video up there. I'm ashamed to say we had at least one of our managers, yeah, I haven't seen that yet. She calls me for advice. You know what I did? Just what I do with the agent. Here's where the resource is. I'll help you after you've done the work on your own. Don't we do that with our kids? How do I spell a word? Go get a Google. Because you can misspell it on Google. All right. MBA community, again, this is the community for brokers, and in the blog we talked about. Also, your image library, when you are doing these promotions, you are doing your blogs and your things, pictures, you have to have pictures or video. Fantastic image library within CBWorks you can use. The e-marketing tools works for recruiting and other agents and agents in your own office. How many of you are sending happy birthday cards or anniversary cards to agents in your own office through the tools? Yeah, it should be every hand in here. It's free. Well, it's not free, right? We pay franchise fees. Go use the tools. All right. How many of your companies actually have a blog? How many of your companies blog? Keep your hands up. You actually update. Keep your hands up if you have your agents write for it. I made a critical mistake when I launched the blog. 187 posts by me, nobody else. Okay? Sometimes I'm beating the same drum over and over again. By the way, we write for the region. We no longer are recruiting for or writing for our company. We write for everybody out there, our association and all those folks. We have a much bigger following than our Realtor Association does. Much, about 4 times larger. You know why? A lot of people don't like the Realtor Association. I used to be on staff there. I know. Got the phone calls. They will trust a peer more than they will a message being filtered through an association. Y'all with me? So I said, okay, this was a critical mistake for me. The other critical mistake I did was doing all the teaching in my company instead of getting everybody else and anybody else involved. Okay? And we would start recruiting people saying, you know, we see a talent in you. We know you're teaching here, you're teaching there, you're doing this. We're looking for instructors too. We're always looking to better our company by having people like you come in because it built a reason to go other than what my commission split and what's the tool that you're giving me. Because everybody likes to be recognized, whether we like it or not. How many of you have worked on awards committees at some point in association? Most political thing you've ever seen that doesn't last more than 10 minutes from the time I walk off the stage. And I don't say this as I'm bitter. When I was producing, I was a top producer. But you know what? I liked the money. I could care less about the piece of plastic I walked off the stage with. Truth be told, that's what I did it for. It was a career. Now I know we all go, but we really love people. That lasts about 6 months after pre-licensing. All right? All right, so we did a company blog, and we did a couple things with it I'm going to share with you. EliteScoop.com is our company blog. Feel free to go there, share, whatever. It has now become the portal for agent engagement inside and outside of the brokerage. And in this engagement, where we post when we have new folks come on staff, a new broker, a new manager. We hired a staff and a short sale negotiator with very good credentials. Posted about that. One of the most read topics now is real estate brokerages with short sale negotiators. That's a search from our area because we track all these searches. One of the #1 most read. Do you know what the last 3 people I interviewed about it came and said? We don't want to do short sales anymore. We're looking for a company who will help us out. And they found the blog post. Okay? It's very, very powerful. We talked about growth. We hired a consumer coordinator, and we talked about that, sending out the message, we're growing, while the rest of your companies are shutting down, now charging you 69 cents a copy. Are you kidding me? 69 cents a copy. That's what this agent came to us with, and she brought over her team because of the cost of copies. All right? Because you look at it as a cost-saving thing. Some of you are looking at me going, we do that. It sends a message that you're not financially stable if you have to charge me for every piece of paper I'm using. And I don't care if you tell me, well, we do this because we can give you higher commission splits, because they can walk out the door and go get a 95% into one of our competitors. You with me? And if they're already paying for copies, what do they care? Okay? So demonstrate growth. Company tutorials. We have a whole page there. When we got a new email system, I'm not going to go sit down with 200 people and set up their email form. We have full-time IT staff. If I did the calculations of how long it would take my guy to go sit down with everybody and set up their iPhone, their iPad, their computer, their Droid, all those types of things, we're talking weeks and weeks and weeks. So you know what we did? Created a video using free tools. Post on here, it's always here. We did the same thing with contracts. I went through and narrated what the agent needs to know about our regional contracts and addendums in different video libraries. It's password protected. But the agent can get in there and go, oh, that's what that means. That's what we're supposed to do with that form that we haven't used in 6 months. Pre-settlement occupancy agreement, are you kidding me? What do I do with that? Our new agents can come in and do that at any time. It's not enough to point them to the association to go do the class. You got to have the resources there and home. It's like marketing. Go ahead, Sean.
How many administrators do we have on this? And is there a checks and balances? Does you post something, someone else have to see it, it goes up?
I paid him to ask the question because I knew I was going to forget it. No. Truth be told, there's 2 administrators, my marketing director, communications director now, and myself. And you can go and do all your work and you hit submit, we get an email, and I have to proof it first. But truth be told, he has to proof my stuff too. I do his because you got to get a second set of eyes on there, but it takes about 20 minutes of staff time to do. But we want to make sure the message is clear. We've got a hand-selected group of realtors who are a little bit more innovative or good at what they do, who write. We got our top producer. She's not going to write for us, so we get her to dictate it and record it to us and send it over. We'll have one of the staff people type it up and put it under her name. So she gets even more promotion. Isn't that cool? Because everybody wants to be recognized. All right. How do you set up VPN? How do you set up zip forms? How do you use DocuSign? Anybody here have DocuSign and zip forms on their iPad? Are you frustrated to let a button you can push to get it from zip forms to DocuSign to send it out? We fixed that problem, did a video tutorial, sent it out. We got 15 times more readers on that one post in the first 2 days than we even have in the company. I won't get into my other classes, but when this comes to online engagement, this is a great landing place for all the stuff you're doing because it has a much longer life. You can send out a postcard all you want to everybody in your area, telling them about the new thing you're doing, or that new short sale negotiator you hired, or the new tools you're giving your agents. The postcard goes in the trash just like it does when I send them out to buyers and sellers. But when they're online Googling for those tools and resources and see a local person giving them that advice and tools, it starts building more brand recognition. Careers, new agent information, new classes that are coming out. We've just started, every time we bring in a new agent, it used to be staff, now it's a new agent, we do a bio, put their picture up, link to their blog or their webpage, and promote them on that page. Again, agents like promotion. Our education plan's on there. They can see the next 3 months worth of education training and register right from the site. The other thing I will recommend for you is get involved in something where you're going to benefit from a heads up. Again, our multiple listing service. I'm on the focus group. So when they launch a new product, I get to test it, and the trade-off is I want to be able to do a how-to video and talk about things that are coming out before anybody else gets a chance. That's the payment that they give me for doing that. Think about the power that you have of people, your other agents in your region who go and say, look, Matthew just talked about the brand new whatever system it is for a multiple listing service or association or contracts. Now they subscribe because they're going, well, what else is he going to tell us about that our broker hasn't? Almost every agent that I've talked to in the past 6 months has been here before they went there. And you know what we found out? We tell our agents, always ask your buyer or seller where they heard from you, right? How many of you do that? Or you just assume you were so kicked butt that they knew you because of how cool you were, and that's why they came. Every one of them said, we Googled your company. These are experienced agents who knew about our company, knew about our brand, knew about the broker. They still went and Googled, this is what comes up for us, and then they get lost in here. We had one agent say she was lost for 3 hours going looking at all the tools. She was ready to sign when she came on board. For our marketplace, she was probably in the top 5% of producers. Okay, they do spend time on here. All right, and then community involvement, we also talk about the things we're doing outside of our own world. In other words, we go out and help other people, other altruistic endeavors. We talk about that, and we do it tactfully. We're not bragging. What we do is find a message platform, and all this is about message platform delivery. We don't go out and say, this is this great cool thing we're doing. We go out and say, can you help? Here's what we're doing. We're setting this up. We need volunteers. Will you come volunteer with us? That's a much better message than saying how cool we are because we do all this stuff. Make sense? Yeah? All right. Big changes, the new state law, got a copy of that when it was still in committee. Our state legislators posted that, explained what was going on there, got more information. We got more readers than our state and local associations did. Code of ethics changes. We actually do a contest. I do a contest on code of ethics because everybody likes to get everyone else in trouble. I don't know why, it's just what we do. We actually post a case study right out of the NAR book and say, okay, whoever gets closest to the right answer will be in a drawing for some of our other prize. They'll go and share that with other people in other companies. And they'll share it within our own. Strange enough, our company always happens to be the winner, I'm just saying. You don't want to put too much of this out there in the world. If other agents are starting blogs or doing something cool, we'll promote it on the blog for them, their stuff. We also use it in a training adjunct. Every class we do, the presentation is here for them to review. The handouts are here for them to review. So we do one on business planning and strategies for your next year. And our agents can go now get their personal handouts and spreadsheet. 90% of this stuff we got off of CB Works or some other service where we paid for it, and we get a license to pass it out amongst the agents. So 6 months down the line when they go, oh, hey, that class I took, do you remember where the handouts are? Yeah, just go get the link, right? I'm not running around, not trying to find them. It's always there for them. If you already have a blog, consider using Deliver-It, DLVR.IT. I put a post on the blog. This will automatically take it and put it on your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, or whatever else you need, so you don't have to worry about pasting it in 14 different places. Although I will tell you, it's much better for your agents to share it. So if you have a couple ambassadors in your company, other people who absolutely love you and will do anything for you, email them the stuff first and ask them to post it in their social circles. Again, me as a realtor, me as a practitioner, telling other practitioners how proud I am of my company is, I'm sorry I keep doing that, is far better than you going out and bragging about yourself because you have more incentive. Most of us, how many of you, before you were in leadership, how many of you, if you really liked your company, were going to tell everybody else? Not too many. Why? Because they would come like your company too. So if you do hear that, it's abnormal. It's a great benefit for your company. All right, we also do videos. Everybody knows about the Cobble Banker on location, right, by now? Everybody's on it? 2 of you. All right, we just changed the topic of this class for the rest of the day. You guys cannot go anywhere else. All right, great, powerful tool. You know what we did? I don't know if I'm supposed to share this or not. We went and looked for other Cobble Bankers within a region that are still in the driving distance, and saw the agents who are doing stuff on there and extended invitations to come do other things. They're already in the brand. They already get the tools. They're already using it. They're my kind of people. I know that. And we started sending invitations to come join, especially if they're relocating or at least refer us. My wife, who's a practitioner, when we're doing referrals now, this is where we go to look for referral agents. Right? But your agents, you can go give that line to them and say, you know what, I heard this instructor in New Orleans, right? New Orleans, who they look for referral agents, not through all the other typical referral services they use on location. Find somebody in the brand who's probably also a member of the reload team or whatever, who's doing stuff the way we do it. And you can tell your agents that all day long, and then they're going to turn around and go, well, can you show me how to get on there, right? How many of you have the follow-through? You cannot stand up in the broker meeting and tell the agent to go do this and not also say, and by the way, we have someone coming in Thursday to help you with that. Everybody clear? All right. Some of you are going, that's a lot of work. And yes, we put some stuff up on location. We also have our own channel here, and we put anything that comes up with our company that's a video. So if our agents want to do videos, we'll put it on here. We now have it embedded on our corporate webpage, but we're also taking the brand videos and putting it on here to share, so that when agents stumble on our YouTube page or follow it, they see not only the stuff we've done, but our brand awareness videos. So we do tutorials, we do promotions, we do training. Believe it or not, I did a video on how you use dual screen or one screen and split the screen on Windows 7 and Mac. Okay? And you guys are going to have nothing to do with real estate. That's okay. It's okay to have anything to do with real estate. You know why? Everything else has to do with real estate, and we're all burnt out on it. If I hear or see one more video about why you should go back to door knocking, I'm going to scream. I don't go Google on YouTube, how do I successfully do door knocking and cold calling? I don't do that. I will go Google, how do I flip my screens? It's brand awareness. Put this stuff up there. Your agents benefit by sending it to them. Other people will see that you're doing stuff that their company isn't. It has worked for us over and over again. A couple other tools, MailChimp. Anybody familiar with MailChimp? It's free. They may, and now it's like, oh, now I got their attention. MailChimp, 2,000 people can be added here. You can import your spreadsheet. We did our local association spreadsheet. 2,000 names free. And when we're doing something of value, not just, hey, if you want to talk about a career in real estate or you want to make more money, come talk to me, because everyone else is doing that. When we have a class, when we have these videos, when we're doing an event that we want to invite everybody to, we send it on here because MailChimp, again, if I didn't say it enough, is free up to 2,000 people. And when you hit submit, you can connect to your social channels automatically. It's a great looking newsletter, quite honestly. I will say Constant Contact's a little bit better. It's just my opinion. But you have to pay for Constant Contact, and if you're using it all the time, it's probably not worth it versus what this does. Also, Box.net. Box.net is like Dropbox. We're all familiar with Dropbox, right? Here's the one advantage I like over Dropbox. I'm going to pull this together in just a minute. Dropbox does very similar things, only, sorry, go ahead, next slide there. Box will let you embed all your folders on your webpage or your blog. How many of you have intranets and you're paying somebody to maintain those internal networks? WordPress for us was free. It took the time for me and staff to put it up and make it pretty. Box is free. We got rid of our very expensive intranet, put all those same files for your relocation, all that stuff on Box.net on the blog. So now our intent is, first of all, we saved a lot of money doing this. We showed we were using great tools, but when the agents go there now to get that file that they need for relo or whatever they need, they're also seeing all the blogs and stuff that we've done. We have to push them back as much as we do everybody else to get there, and they'll see if they'll trigger it. And I've been very surprised. We just had this happen not too long ago. Agent came back and asked me about something we wrote 2 years ago on the blog that she just saw and didn't know that it was there. All right, so sending them back here, embedding it on the page was very useful. Dropbox, I think we're familiar with. How many people are using Eventbrite? Let me ask you this. How many of you do events? Classes at all, ever? Okay, if you're not, you've got to do them more often. And it's got to be relevant right now learning, not just my favorite attorney came down to talk once again about short sales and underground storage tanks. Oh my God, yawn. You know why? Because your agents who are looking for that information and good at that information, they went on and Googled underground storage tanks and what realtors need to know and found somebody else already did the class in 15 minutes instead of spending 3 hours sitting through somebody else's lecture. True? Yes, sir, to back?
Quick question. You had mentioned the different services. What do you use to do your blog? Do you use WordPress or do you use
WordPress? Yeah, WordPress. Everybody else can speak on their own. For me, that's the only option. Is that your question? Yeah, WordPress. Any other opinions? Well, Sean just switched, so I was going to give him the time to give me the debate, but WordPress is amazing.
I think if you're just getting into blogging, Blogger, I think just as easy, simple, and they really have upgraded their user interface tremendously because of WordPress.
Right.
I did switch over to WordPress just because it doesn't use some optimizations. But if you have no blog right now, Blogger's a great place.
Yeah. And here's why I just default to WordPress. There's elements you can add to it that don't exist in the rest. We just added an education element, an education calendar where they can register and it ties into Eventbrite and it's all pretty and right there. And it's just as easy as typing on a Word document, hitting submit, and now we've got this great education calendar as a plugin on WordPress. It was free. And if you want to know what it is, you can email me because I can't remember. Eventbrite will also put your events out there in the social world. Make sure that you do all your good branding and your disclosures and stuff you need to do. Set up the free account. Give it to, when your reload person does reload classes, all right, the mandatory topics, that goes on here. When we do video classes, that goes on. Everything we do, company or office meetings goes on here so that we can invite everybody we need to because the invites are very, very powerful and you can send them out to a large group, not just your company. Our entire recruitment process is now social media and education, giving them tools. That's the whole process. We don't do the mail out cards. We don't do all that kind of stuff. Yes, ma'am?
What's the difference between Eventbrite and MailChimp?
MailChimp is just an email campaign process. Eventbrite is actually, it's for classes and training and meeting and things. It's free if you're not charging for the class. If you do charge for your class, it will process the credit card so they can register for your programs on here instead of you collecting money at the door, personal checks and handling all that. Forgot to mention that. Thank you for helping me clarify that. The other thing I'll say about this, you can build codes. So here's what we do to build value for our agents. At our company, Virginia requires 2 days, or 16 hours of CE rather. So we do a 2-day class, which everybody loves because they get in and get it done. We offer it out there in the wide world for our agents for free. And then for everybody else out of the company, it's $20 for 2 days. again, I don't want to. I want it to be free, but our agents need to see a value in being there as opposed to, well, I can go work anywhere and still come to your classes. So everybody in the wild wide world goes out and they have to enter their credit card for $20. Our agents enter a code and it shows that we're doing things for them for free. Okay? You get it? Everybody okay with that? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. The next thing, and for the rest of these slides are just kind of ideas I'm going through pretty quickly. GeneProject.com. Are you familiar with this? Sorry. I mentioned earlier doing how-to videos on your computer. You know the nice videos of what's going on the computer, you can narrate in the background. Gene Project will do it for free. It's a free software that you can use to do the screen captures, upload them to YouTube. And I really only use YouTube. I know Vimeo is a good service. For us, YouTube is much better because of the search engine stuff. You download it for free, you can install it. Here's my one tip. If you're using this software, shut it down when you're done because it kills the resources on your Windows computers. Okay? It'll take a whole chunk of RAM to work. So it's great while it's working and you get done and upload it. It does screen capture and other things, but video recording is what most people use it for.
Mac friendly?
Mac friendly? Yes. It's Mac friendly. It doesn't have the resource hogs, but there's one or two tools in here that doesn't work on the Mac. I mean, it's supposed to, but I have found it doesn't work that great. Camtasia is not free. It's $99 for the Mac, and it's $200 for PC. But it does all the really cool transitions. If you've ever seen a system where like the mouse pointer comes yellow and zooms in what they're clicking on and brings the screen up when you're typing something on the screen so they can read it better, Camtasia is my personal favorite. Unless you have staff who does education and does this a lot, I wouldn't bother spending the money on it. That's just, for me. But Gene Project will work because it's free. It doesn't have all the great bells and whistles, but it will get the job done. Also, Slideshare. Remember I mentioned earlier I embed my slides in our web pages for our agents to go back to later. Not only do I do it there, I add the slides here. I don't allow them to be downloaded, but I do put them up on Slideshare because other agents in our marketplace have searched for information about the Northern Virginia Regional Contract. Well, guess what's up on Slideshare? It's a mock-up, a training mock-up that we've done to release it before everybody else because I'm on the contracts committee with all that information. So when they search for it, Slideshare already does all your search engine optimization, and it comes up first even before the association posting their own new update information. So who gets the branding? We do. Okay. It's free. Now there is a pro version. Are you guys using pro? I don't know what the benefit is. Maybe it's ad free because it says ads. Mentioning ads, guess what ad came up on the screenshot? I didn't realize this until I was putting the presentation together. Nice little Cobble Banker guy. On our ad, and which the other part of this is if I upload this and I use keywords and I put Cobble Banker in there, the ads will relate somewhat to the search results. So when I put Cobble Banker in the description of my presentation, you start seeing the Cobble Banker slides and related posts. You'll notice on here that our schedule, our training schedule and our development schedule is also on here. 892 views of our training schedule. Again, we have 200 agents. 892 views of our training schedule within 3 days of posting it. What did that tell me? Everybody else is looking at it.
To be just very brief, Slideshare shares the slide presentation. James would take your narration and incorporate that in.
Yeah, it does video screen capturing. Yeah. Did everybody hear what he was talking about? You can do whatever you're doing on the screen and records it with your voice on the screen. Gene does.
This is just your dash, basically.
Yeah, this is me it is my presentation deck. You can put PDFs, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoints, keynotes, whatever on there.
Will Gene Project record the video if you have a webcam? Can you embed that on your screen and it'll record?
Not a Gene Project. No. Camtasia will. TechSmith Camtasia will. Yeah.
Matt, can you talk about how you use the video inside that because we can now embed YouTube videos inside the slideshow?
Right. If you see this here where it says YouTube video inside, when you upload your thing, and it's very easy, it's like attaching an email or making an attachment email. When you upload your presentation, you can go to the slide where you normally would have embedded or added a video, like your brand video or your company video, and you can put it in the slides. So when they're going through the slides online, it'll show the YouTube video that you have of your company, your recruiting, whatever you're doing. So we do record some of our classes, segments of our classes, that we think other agents will benefit from and embed it in there as well. I like taking our connection as offline as much as possible. How many of you are brokers and you have a team here today at the conference? Okay. GroupMe is a free tool where you can add them all to a text message group. So when you're in this class and you go, you know what, stay away from this room, go to somewhere else, you can send out one text message from your phone. It'll go out to everybody you've added in the group so you can keep track of your agents here. This is how we coordinate our dinners. This is how we coordinate with meetings. And we instruct our agents when they go out, if you're sitting in a really good class, please by all means text it to the group so we know where the best classes are. Make sense? How many of you say, I'd rather not sit with my agents all day. Came here to get away from them?
This is a little dangerous too.
Okay.
You take up to 25 people in this, and also if the conversation starts going, it will go non-stop.
Yeah.
I mean,
The drunker they get, the more happy they get on text.
But it's also great, it's also your people are constantly talking and engaging. When I did it for a leadership academy class, one of the young people in class said, "Oh, it's like Twitter for old people." Because once they got on it, it was just constant overshare.
Yeah. And what happens, this is the unfortunate part, it's like copy all, reply to all in your email. So when they text you back, everybody gets the text. So there is a little bit of a danger there, but for us it's been great. We did set some ground rules before we got started, such as 140 characters once every hour. This is my broker best friend. This has nothing to do with social media, but it's technology. I had to share it. Who's using this? Okay. If not, you will. It's $20 for 2 phone numbers for the year, for you and your spouse, you and another manager, whoever. What it does is when I use the app on my phone to call you, I go straight to your voicemail without the chance of ringing and you picking up. How many of you have that agent? You know who I'm talking about. They ask their question in voicemail and they have to call 4 times because it ran out of recording. And then when you call them, they want to repeat the question 5 ways. Your answer is, what does your contract say, right? So that's what you do now. You call them directly, get in their voicemail. I got to tell you, this works for personal life too. My grandfather hadn't heard my real voice in a year. That's slide dial. Digital signatures, everybody's familiar with digital signatures. How many of you ask your agents to send you stuff using DocuSign Ink so you can sign it as a broker using digital signatures on your iPad? It sucks being out of the office for a week, right? I mean, it's great to be down here and we're enjoying the conference, but you think about all the paperwork and signing you have to do for new listings and things. Do it in your digital signatures. It works for you just as well as it works for them, if not better, and it shows you're using the tools. I got a thing with monkeys. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, I forgot to mention, and MailChimp, how many of you don't like technology? Don't raise your hand. I'll have to come back there. If you're not technology, you don't want to learn something new, in MailChimp, a little video of a little monkey is in the right-hand corner. Whenever you get stuck, you click the video, and the little monkey tells you how to use the web page you're on and build your emails. Isn't that cool? So simple, a monkey can do it. Surveymonkey.com. Send out surveys to your agents once in a while. They need to know you're listening. They have to have input. How many of you have groups who actually do, I don't know what I was going to say. You get them together and they tell you how to run your company? Okay. You either have, in my opinion, every broker has them either informally or formally. I'd rather control the conversation, have them formal, build them a little collaborative site. I'm doing a mastermind group tomorrow, which is quite frankly a much more innovative class than even what we're doing here. Mastermind groups where we're using online tools and offline. Like the New Wave group, how many loved Nancy Corey yesterday? Wasn't that awesome? Doesn't everybody want to be here? I want to be her. I mean, I'd love to have 6 agents coming in and go, we want to do this. Unfortunately, we're not. We're still stuck. For those who've been around for a while, still stuck in this, oh my gosh, what's this going to mean? Is it going to work? Who cares if their time and their effort, it doesn't cost you anything other than being supportive? Think about the tribe they're building, maybe the other agents in the area, checking out what they're doing. It sends a message. Nonetheless, send in a SurveyMonkey and ask our agents how you're doing. Make it anonymous, and you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. Here's what's happening. They're giving you the conversation they're already having in your parking lots. Okay? They're already having the conversation. Now you can address those concerns, and it's anonymous, so it's, whether they believe it's anonymous, and it's free. All right, a little bit of company management stuff. We are running out of time. I will get done just about on time. Google Places, great way to promote your company. If you're not already there, what it does is it adds a link in Google. I put this in there. We register ourselves on Google Places. It's free. Have your marketing guy do it if you don't. Notice we're ranked number 2. My wife and I put this on there. This was 14 hours after setting it up. We were ranked number 2 on the Google searches. The first section you'll see is businesses, and then you'll see organic results. 3 months later, we're still number 2. So that's not bad in the marketplace. We have a lot of competition. This is a great place. Your company needs to be there. When you click on it, it gives you some information about the company. It'll go out and search through Google to see what's on your video pages and sync all your videos there and tell YouTube about it. It'll give you some descriptions. You can add your Facebook page and all your other web pages and stuff. Pretty neat? Everybody using it? Okay. It also gives you analytics to tell you who's been searching, what platform they use, where they're at. Again, we measure everything, and we know we have a huge footprint within our marketplace, and almost every agent we've recruited that's been in the market business in our area knows about our tool before they come over. It sells itself. The conversation's already there. I'm not going to do a whole lot of Facebook other than what not to do. I was asked by Rhea the other day to do a presentation for other instructors in using online tools, and they asked at the end, if I had one message to send about the tricks or techniques that work on social media, what would I send? Be social. That's it. You start promoting your listings, you start promoting your great, whatever you're promoting on there, and it's not in a conversational style of people who don't know you, they will tune you out. You have to watch your message on there, okay? But you got to have a conversation. It's got to be real and it's got to be personal. And if all you're ever doing is talking about how you're number one in your marketplace, that's great. But people tune that out because they know what your message is going to be. And everybody feels they're number one for something in their marketplace. In this case, this was a local conference. And Brenda Moore, my wife and I are walking out of our hotel room. This gal starts talking to us in the lobby. And I'm in a hurry. I'm late for my presentation because I was traveling with my wife. Don't put that in the video. Yeah, half the people in this room know her on Twitter. They're all texting her now. He's dissing you again. Love my wife to death, which is why I tolerate being late because I can't stand it personally. But we were running late. I'm trying out the door. She's just a social butterfly, chatting with everybody. She starts talking to this woman. I'm like, look, we can talk to them later. She's not on Facebook and Twitter. I don't care. Let's go. The woman says, well, we missed our shuttle. Oh, crap. I know what's coming next. Jennifer's like, hey, you want to ride with us? Now, how many of you speak at all, teach at all? You need that hour beforehand to get mentally prepared? No. So, Matthew, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So we're going down the road, we get back, and I didn't shut her down. I was trying to be nice and converse with her. You know what I found out? She's in my marketplace. She remembered we gave her a ride. She knew me because she was following on Facebook. All the stuff she was asking me, stuff had been happening over the past 6 months. She was asking stuff that far back. I asked about my mom. You care more about my mom than you presume I do. Okay? But my mom's very active on my Facebook page. It was definitely a clash of philosophies when I saw her on there. Nonetheless, she came to our company, she came to our company, let's just say that, talking to us about coming on board. She actually wound up moving out of the area. I think her husband got transferred or something. Someone else she referred to because she said, Matthew and Jennifer are so nice, and they started talking about the ride we gave them over to class. They did not talk about our number one standing in production in our region. They talked about the ride we gave them in class that wouldn't have happened had she not known me and identified with my wife. Okay? You don't know where this stuff's coming from. You can't just use postcards anymore. Now, there's some things you don't do. Don't create a profile for your company. I know some instructors will say you should. Here's what I'll tell you not. First of all, the terms of use for Facebook said one profile for you, and it's got to be personal. Everything else goes on fan pages. All right? Second reason is if you do an invite for me, I don't care how much I like you, I am not following your company. Because that's not what I use Facebook for. I will talk about what I'm doing in life and in business because I am a realtor and I do have lots of friends on there who are and may benefit from that. But I'm not going to go and just build a company page. And now look at this. Okay, this was an ad that was associated with that page. Shirts hung kind of low, isn't it? Now, I'm not standing in judgment for you. If that's how you dress, that's fine. But I'll tell you, if that was the realtor's promotion, my wife would not let me even go to the interview. It's true. And who makes the decision in buying and selling most of the time? The wife. Okay. So you get those nice glamour shots going on. That's wrong in so many reasons. I mean, just false marketing and everything else. All right. The other mistake I see brokers make is they make a group just for their company and hope everybody else will join them. Right? I'll tell you that there's a particular broker in our area who I used to work for, and I love her to death. But if she saw me go friend some other broker's Facebook page, I would be in her office the next day wanting to know why. However, we decided to go a different direction. We created the Fredericksburg Real Estate Agent site. Can't use realtors, right? Because it's copyright. I wasn't on behalf of the association. Huge following here, and this is where we have our conversations now. We do not have them on our own local company page. We have a company page, And the agents will have conversations on there. But I'm out reaching out to all the agents in our region to provide resources and tools and information. The company page is for the agents to chat about what's going on and talk about family business. You with me? That make sense? All right. We also do our events on here. Not everything goes on here, but our good social and free events go here, and we invite other agents in there. We don't do this for the paid stuff. That's what Eventbrite is for, I talked about earlier. And then we do video groups. We do a horse race, a day at the horse races, Montpelier horse races. We put all the pictures up there. It's not promotional, but people are looking to connect with their brokers. People leave brokers for a variety of reasons, but number one is they don't feel like they're loved. Right? We all know that. So if we start sending a message to everybody else that they're appreciated, we tag them, we put them on Facebook, we get them sharing, other people in their circle will find out that they're there. LinkedIn, I'm not going to do a whole lot on this. It is another resource. It's a good resource, but create groups. We do a lot with the groups there. I've ran out of time to talk about that in any detail. And lastly, talk about reputation management. People are Googling you, the broker who's going to interview them, and your company before they go to talk to you. Over and over and over and over again, we get that information back. So the question is, what are they going to find? Not only Google, and I'll talk about the Google Alerts in a minute, but social mention. Go check that out and see what people are saying about you and your company. You may be surprised to find some stuff out. Have you ever heard about the client experience rating, where consumers are asked? Yes, ma'am? Is that your agent? She's doing a great job. She's all five. A lot of agents are scared to death of this. It's happening. Let's control the message, right? Because when you let other people do it, it gets out of hand. I'll show you why. Incredible Agents is the same type of site, real estate. You also need to go look and see if your information is correct. We created a Yelp page for one reason and one reason only. If someone leaves a comment, we want them to do it on our site and us get notified about it. We will not delete them. We won't ask to delete them. We won't delete the profile. We're going to address our problems head on. So far, so good. No problems. Doesn't mean they don't exist. It means that they didn't go on Yelp. Everybody familiar with Yelp? All right, here's a competitor in the marketplace. They're right down the street from us. I did a search for our competitors and real estate companies. They have 2 reviews with a 1-point rating. That's the only reviews on here. And aside from so-and-so in the office, this is the most unprofessional business that I've ever encountered. If you want that to be the tagline of the first comment on your Yelp page or your online ratings page. We go on. In here, I didn't underline it. In here, they talk about the lack of technical prowess of the agents. Here's a different consumer 8 months later. Different consumer 8 months later, same company, said almost the exact same thing the first person did. First line here says it stands out. It started out fine with a very kind realtor showing us the property. We all know that doesn't get it done anymore, right? After that, it was downhill. The office was disorganized or just technologically challenged. This is the day and age where you do not want that title in your company and your brokerage. That is a death knell. Might as well have fair housing violation posted on your name, right? Because the consumer goes to read that, they're moving on. Additional labeling. You go in, this is not my marketplace. This is when I was doing a class, and I did it the night before the class. I searched for realtors and put in the name. I whited out the name. This is what came up. Oh, I'm sorry. I left somebody else's brand in there. Whoops. And that's Century 21. All right. Now, aside, no one should dress like that as a realtor except for Christoph Chu. I'm just saying. All right. This is not the message that you want to send. And you may have agents look like that, and you go, that's great, that's the market they work in, and they're so they out or whatever. It's not going to reflect on your company when it comes up. So make sure your pictures on your websites and your blogs are labeled with your name, the word realtor, in your marketplace so that it will overwrite those other less appropriate ones. Google.com alerts, everybody has this? Everybody knows about this? We've been talking about this forever. If not, google.com/alerts. I am almost done, guys. Hang with me one more minute. You set up your company name and your marketplace, and what happens is the next morning you get a list of everywhere that Google has found you online, and thereafter you get an email at 6 in the morning with anything new that's come up. So if someone adds some stuff about you, you'll get an email about it, be able to address it, and not wonder what's going on out there, or sit at night trying to Google your company. I used to say Google yourself, but that didn't go over quite that well. All right, so anyway, there's a very brief synopsis of what we're doing as a brokerage. I hope you got some information. If you need information, I know it's a lot. I know I speak twice as fast as everybody else. You get twice as much content that way. You can find me at MatthewRealtor.com, Facebook, Matt Rathbun, or YouTube. Matt Rathbun 1 is where our videos are that we're doing for our companies. Feel free to Email me if you want more information or more detailed information. I probably have video tutorials that will help you out with that. Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and I'll see some of you in the other sessions. Thanks.